Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And we're watching Vedam. This is our Patreon executive producer, Tejo's request. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And, you know, I'm glad you chose an Allu Arjun movie because we don't see enough of him ever since our, I really liked him in Allave Kuntupurumulu.
Yes.
And
that was one of my favorites.
Oh my God, Daddy song.
Oh, my daddy,
He still sings it today. All right, this is part 3, so if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, you know where to find it. The link is in the description below this video where you can find all of the parts. And then join us back here, where we're going to start part 3. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, and like button ను slap చేయండి.
ఏమంటాడు బంగారు గొలుసు పావలా వాటా అప్పుడప్పుడు సరోజ
నువ్వేం పట్టించుకోకు
నువ్వు ముందే వచ్చింటే ఇవన్నీ అయ్యో కాదు బాగుండ్రమ్మ ఏ ఆ పోలీసు వాడికి ఇచ్చిన గొలుసు ఎవరిచ్చారే
అదే ఆ రైలు దిగేటప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు నా కృష్ణుడే మనల్ని కాపాడాడు
ఏం చేశాడు అసలు దేవుడు లేడు గీవుడు లేడు
ఎవరి తాలూకండి ఉంది సార్ నికాసైన సరుకు
భలే ఉద్యోగం అక్క ఏ ఉద్యోగానికైనా ఎంత ఎక్కువ అనుభవం ఉంటే అంత ఎక్కువ జీతం వస్తుంది మంది ఒక్కటే ఎంత తక్కువ అనుభవం ఉంటే అంత ఎక్కువ డబ్బులు వస్తాయి
Sad.
Yeah.
ఏంటి సార్ రేవత ఈయన మా నాయన వలగొండ రాజిరెడ్డి ఈయన మా చిన్నబాబు వలగొండ నరసింహారెడ్డి
She practiced her lines.
Yeah.
సరే నీకు కిడ్నీ ఇవ్వడం ఇష్టమేగా సంతకం పెట్టండి
They must know.
I mean, there's,
It's.
But it's going straight to somebody that needs it.
అంత టెన్షన్ పడుతున్నాడు బా అమ్మాయి కళ్ళల్లో చూస్తూ నేను నిజం చెప్పలేనురా మరి వెళ్ళిపోదామా ఏం చేద్దాం చెప్పరా ఎవరికి
He needs to do it so that right in the front. I don't know.
తన్ని మొదట్లో డబ్బుల కోసమే ప్రేమించాను ఇప్పుడు మాత్రం నిజంగానే ప్రేమిస్తున్నాను అంటే మస్తాన్ డబ్బులు ఎక్కడ పారిపోయినట్టు ఆడవాళ్ళ మెడలో చైన్ లాగేసినట్టు పోలీస్ స్టేషన్ పెట్టి కుమ్మేసినట్టు చెడ్డ నిజాలు కాదురా అంటే మా దగ్గర పెద్ద డబ్బు లేదు కేబుల్ టీవీ అంతే కదా ఓకే ఓకే చెప్పు
నువ్వు రాజ్ డ్రైవర్ కదా రాజ్ ఎక్కడా
సారా
Okay, he's got to do it.
ఏంటి ఏదో మాట్లాడాలన్నా
యాక్చువల్లీ పూజ
హే వాట్ హ్యాపెన్ బేబీ
మీ మమ్మీని కలిసే లోపల నేను నీతో
What? 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 Snoopy is like, what?
ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి ఓకే నువ్వు మామ్కి నచ్చుతావు
Tell her.
Tell her.
You gotta tell her.
Tell her.
Because you know if she's that shallow. Oh.
ఏం ముద్దాడు కనిపెట్టాడా కానీ
బాయ్ చాలా అన్యాయం బా
Oh, jeez. This is kryptonite.
It is.
Went weak in the knees.
సూపర్ వెళ్దామా
పద
ఐరేసియే బాబురావు కదా అవును సార్ అర్జెంట్గా కనెక్ట్ చేయండి నాకు
ప్రతీకార మత్తులో మీరు మాలాంటి వాళ్ళకి అన్యాయం చేస్తున్నారు ఇద్దరు టెర్రరిస్టులే
టెర్రరిస్ట్లా కనపడుతున్నాను రా దురదృష్టం నిన్ను తరుగుకుంటూ వస్తుందో నువ్వు దాన్ని తరుగుకుంటూ వెళ్తున్నావో తెలియదు కానీ అప్పుడు నీ బిడ్డ పోయింది ఇప్పుడు నీ జీవితం పోతుంది ఏంట్రా చూపు దూకి పారిపోదాం అనుకుంటున్నావా
Yeah, okay. Made him mad enough talking about his kids. Oof.
నీ పనే బాగుందయ్యా
సారు కళ్ళు కిడ్నీలేనా ఇంకేం తీసుకోరా
నీకు ఆశ ఎక్కువయ్యా పద
రాములు
అయ్యా
నీకు ఇస్తానన్నది 40,000
అవునయ్యా
And there's a service fee.
ఖర్చులు 3,000
Oh.
ఇగో మిగతా పైసలు పట్టు
That is very greedy.
40,000 మాకే ఇస్తానన్నారు కదా
ఖర్చులు మా ఖర్చులు వద్దా
ఈ పైసలు కాదయ్యా నా మనోడి చదువు అయ్యా
పట్టు కట్టుకో మంది చూస్తారు పట్టు
That's messed up.
Scummy,
Like what?
scummy.
3,000. He just got 40,000 for not even doing
anything. Yeah.
No, you. Oh my God! This would be the worst. I really didn't think that's how this story would line up.
నమస్తే సార్
That
రండి
was creepy music in the background.
అది కాదన్నా ఇది
నేను కావాలా
What? Oh,
దొరికారా దొంగ ముంట్లో
works for them.
ఇదిగో ఇక నాకు సంబంధం లేదు నా డబ్బులు మాత్రం నాకు పంపించు
డబ్బులే ముందు లేవే పంపిస్తా నా దగ్గర పక్కలేసి నా కొడుకువి
You would think he would have known about the territory and
You would have
get some
thought-
security. Zero security?
మమ్మల్ని తీసుకొచ్చాడు వాడు పారిపోయాడు వచ్చేయనుకో మనం మనం బిజినెస్ చేసుకుందాం
He's already called him.
మార్కెట్ సరుకు పప్పు ఉప్పు చింతపండు ఎట్లా కొంటాం అట్లే నేను రక్తం దగ్గర కొట్టేశాను
I'm glad that a lot of people in this movie are not afraid to, like, you know, push things to the limit like that. I don't like this idea, especially since we know his backstory.
Yeah.
That's the thing, when you rob people, it's like you don't know the backstory. If you knew the
Yeah.
backstory, maybe you, especially someone like that.
బాగానే ఉన్నదా సార్
మాట్లాడుతోంది మీరు వెళ్ళి చూడొచ్చు
అట్నే సార్
Especially, I mean, if you saw a guy like this going to a hospital, you'd have to wonder, okay,
Yeah,
he needs
I
all
mean,
that
and-
money for something.
And there won't be any tickets left, I bet. So even if he gets the money,
నేను షవర్లో ఉన్నాను చెప్పు ఎందుకంత కంగారు పడతావు ఆఫ్టర్ ఆల్ 40,000 40,000
Only.
ఓకే బాయ్
he thinks
Oh,
he's
it's the
getting
Jaws.
40,000, but he's not getting 40,000.
No.
వెయ్యి ఎక్కువ అడగొద్దా మావా సీనుగాడికి బట్టలు లేవు
ఇంకా 3 ఏళ్ళు తక్కువ ఇచ్చిండు
బట్టలు ఒప్పుకుంటాడు మావా
కాగితం రాసిద్దాంలే
And then you're going to owe him 3,000. Oh, and she just had surgery. Oof. That's so messed up.
It is very messed up. Very, very
And
messed up.
hearing all of that, did he still think that he had a better use for it than them?
And that's just it, is that everyone tries to rationalize it in their own mind of what's reasonable. And he thinks, yeah, stealing from an old man and you know, they're poorer than he is.
ఏంట్రా చూపు గుట్లు పీకేస్తాను జాగ్రత్త
ఓకే సార్
Maybe. Is it a plant?
Maybe.
What? Who had the knife? She had the knife. Oh my God. Where'd she get the knife from?
He's like, dude.
These people are having the worst road trip.
Right.
What? Well, he's changed for her. He's willing to
little bit,
help
yeah.
people now. Oh, they're headed to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't know that he's 3,000 short.
He didn't overhear the conversation? Selling your soul.
For single or couple?
A single.
Okay. 39,998 rupees, sir. Sir?
He's holding a kid's education in his hands right now. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Good.
at least he did the
There
right
he
thing
goes.
there. Okay.
The most heroic score now.
ఇంతకీ పాసెస్ తీసుకున్నావా
నా దగ్గర డబ్బులు లేవు
రాజ్
నా పేరు ఆనందరాజు
అందరు కేబుల్ రాజు పిలుస్తారు. మీ ఇంటి వెనకాల బస్తీల్లో ఉంటాం. చేసింది ప్రతిదీ అబద్ధం.
If anything, she could get angry that he left it to the very last moment to tell her before the party. She's like, wait, now I don't even have tickets to the party? Oh, he's going to make it the full 40,000 because he must have had it counted.
Maybe.
Because the ticket was so.
చూడండి సారు,
ఏమైంది?
కత్తిపోటు, చాలా రక్తం పోయింది.
కత్తిపోట? పోలీస్ కంప్లైంట్ ఇచ్చావా?
పోలీసా?
What?
పోలీస్ ఎందుకు? డాక్టర్ కావాలి కానీ.
డాక్టర్,
What if she
ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లం?
dies while filling it out?
అక్కడ చచ్చిపోతుంటే మీరు పోలీసుల దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళమంటున్నాడు సారు.
అవునమ్మా, ముందు పోలీసుల దగ్గరికే వెళ్ళాలి.
Oh,
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
Wasn't this the same director? Gabbar is back.
ఎన్నిసార్లు అయినా పడుకుంటాను.
Oh.
ఇది తీసుకొని నన్ను బతికించండి.
Bribe for.
Well, he didn't take it, but I think it made him remember his values in a way.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, what the heck? This is what the kids had planned? Oh my God.
కొంతమంది హాస్పిటల్ పాలవుతారు. అదే హాస్పిటల్లోనే జరిగితే నई जिंदगी है.
ఏ ముఖం పెట్టుకొని ఊరికి పోతానే, ఇక్కడ ఇంత ఇష్టం దాగి సర్దానే, ఈ బతుకు పాడుగాను. మన పైసలే నీ కొడుకు చదువుకుంటారే. దేవుడు ఉన్నారే.
Okay, yeah, he must realize the extra is in there to make the difference. I mean, school, yes, is very important, but get him out of like indentured servitude,
Exactly.
like slavery, basically, right now. That's the main thing to get him out of. Education, sure, yes, great, good, get him educated, but he's a slave right now, which is horrible.
And the sheer fact that there are people that put people in those kind of situations, it's like, there are better ways to, I don't know, to be a better goon. And this is so rough for him because it...
Not really anymore, because like he told the truth, and yes, he lost this girl, but was it even real to start with if you weren't telling her the truth?
Don't have much time. You guys come fast.
All right. మేము అర్జెంట్గా వెళ్ళాలి. మేము ఏం చేయలేని పరిస్థితి.
Yeah, everybody's kind of in these unbelievable. She's a cutie. Who's her dad?
The guy next to her?
Yeah, but
it's like the lowest of low. Attacking like a hospital. I mean, attacking anyone like is disgusting in its own, but you do yourself even worse than going to a hospital.
కింద పడ్డాను.
Oh, flashbacks. What? Oh. That's why he was trying to get her out. He knew this was going to happen. Oh, that is dark.
Don't stand in front of the door.
తీసుకో తీసుకో ఈ పైసలే కదా తీసుకో లేకండి పరిగెత్తండి త్వరగా
Wow, the police response to this is so slow.
Yeah, well,
like because guns aren't quiet.
Right.
And unless this hospital was in the middle of nowhere, I mean, where the hell are the cops?
చాలా మంది చనిపోయారు. ఇటు పదండి. కొత్త బ్లాక్ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు సార్.
There were so many of the chemicals. I was thinking something might happen.
Idiot firing a gun around there.
This guy is definitely a guy of action.
Yeah, he is.
Wait, he knows him? He looked like he... That was a weird look.
Oh, man, he's like, I've had it.
Oh,
he got
okay.
it just right.
Oh, I thought he was dead. Okay. Now he might be. Oh, he goes back in. Even, like, alone. Don't go that way. Yeah, I guess it's good that they made that connection because or else you think maybe he's one of them?
Yeah. I feel for all these people. They're trying to escape.
Of course.
They're kind of trapped.
I'm just shocked I mean,
yeah,
still the cops aren't there.
Well, I've seen a few uniforms going by, but
I think
it's
those
like,
are the people that were already there. Oh. Oh, his girl.
Ironic that he's helping him.
The guy that put a bullet in his own leg.
I think the Muslim guy is going to have to kill that guy that started this all.
Oh. What? Oh.
Gonna do it. We're gonna throw him out the window. Oh, shit. I started to say they might survive because they were on the other side of the concrete.
No, I don't.
But it's a
The
hard
internal
fall.
damage is
Yeah.
going to be way too much.
Can't even begin to explain what happened, huh?
I mean, in a way, those kids in his house were the, culprits of all this. So,
His grandfather, Mr. Venkateshwara Chakravarti. India found a hero from the same family, that is Mr. Vivek Chakravarti, who saved several lives and leaves everyone with nothing but tears.
saved a ton of people. Then.
Yeah.
ఎంత పట్టేగా ఆంబోతికి ముందు నడవకూడదు కుమ్ముద్ది
Whoa.
వెనక నడవకూడదు తన్నిద్ది నీలాంటి ఎదవరికి ఏ వైపు నడవకూడదు
Okay. She should meet that older guy in the train again.
Yeah.
The Brahmanandam. He seemed like okay. He was offering marriage. It wasn't like he was like, hey, let's do a one and done, right?
Yeah.
And she never even got the chance to see if she would have gone for him. That's pretty brutal. Wow, a lot of people showed up for.
Oh, the kid will calculate it.
And his schooling is what saves him.
30,000 తాత 30,000 అంతే పదరా సీరిగా
ఏం కట్టిండ్రా లెక్కలు ఇడ్సేరా బడికి పోతాడు.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I will get my hands on him later on for my accountant.
Yeah, probably. He's
Yeah.
probably thinking something like that. Jeez. All right, so that last 30 minutes was a crazy ride.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking before that, I'm like, hey, this seems like everything is wrapping up pretty nicely. We still have 30 minutes to go.
And
so
it could have, I was thinking it's going to get very comical here. There's going to be a lot of things that, but when things started going with the police officer shooting him and I'm like.
I kind of had to figure, I was figuring there would be some sort of showdown like that because ever since they talked about when the kid finally said oh, tonight so many people will die. I was kind of thinking that all the stories would kind of line up that way. I've seen a few movies that were kind of like this. One was Ludo, right? But Ludo came later after this. But in Ludo, because in the game of Ludo, you have the 4 players with 4 colors, and they're all doing their thing. So in that movie, it was sort of the same style where all their stories were interconnecting and stuff. And then I think there was another movie, Paresh Rawal is in it. Again, I think this was after all this, but it was about 9/11, and all their stories started lining up, and they were in that building at the time. So it's interesting, and so this is kind of a subgenre of its own of following all these stories and seeing how they interconnect, because in a way it shows you that everyone kind of has these backstories, right? And because you'll see this event on the news and you'll hear the numbers on the TV of the people that got injured or had died in an attack like this, each one of those people had these stories and they all wound up there, and it's almost like that was the start, and then we jump backwards to see how they all got there.
Right.
And so it's kind of a genre of itself to see how people's lives have these connections, and sometimes you're not even aware of it, and then it comes back, and you're like, whoa, what?
Right. Well, and it does kind of make you think about all of the random interactions that we have on a day-to-day basis with each other. You just never ever know. And sometimes I often say when it is even a very slightly bizarre or an interaction that you're like going, whoa, that was very funny. That was very odd. Or and then you just never ever know how it's how that's going to come out and play later on in life. It's that whole little bit of the butterfly effect. A butterfly over here flaps its wings, and suddenly something else is happening in the world further down the timeline. So it makes you think about. I am not as insignificant as I think I am, or as people treat me either.
And I can kind of see a lot of similarities in the stories now that we've watched the movies directed by the same director, right? In Kanche and in Gabbar is Back. In Gabbar is Back, they almost had the same sort of scene, right? Where it was in a hospital and someone's dying. They're like, you need to do the police report. And it's like, how do we have time to do a police report
when he's bleeding out?
Like he's not gonna be able to do it. How's he even supposed to sign? Or it was like, maybe it wasn't police report. Maybe it was like signing documents and fill out the paper forms.
It was filling out the paperwork.
And then he's like, how can he?
And paying for it.
But how can he, if he's like so interested? Like you can't fill out the form. So it's a crazy system, like broken. And then also in Kanche, they dealt with some of the religion stuff too, right? You remember that because the whole thing was he was actually in the military with his kind of like brother-in-law, or who he wanted to be his brother-in-law, or they were. Anyway, it was a complicated story. But anyway, so this director is definitely not afraid of pushing the controversies, which here there was quite a bit of religion and fanaticism. And
religion, fanaticism, a bit of wealth versus poor versus, again, we heard it several times, skin color, even your profession, and your
lots of things.
Your lot in life. I'm just a weaver. I'm a very poor weaver. I don't make much money, and you're wrapping me up in this never-ending enslavement of where I'm always going to owe you money.
So and another thing that I think what you were getting on too is that you're seeing all these different basically contrasts of how people are living their lives, but also it shows you that an event like this is affecting so many people that come from wealth, people that come from the villages, people that are extorted, all these things, and they all come there, or they are affected by these same things throughout life, right? So all these issues. And so it's not like, oh, well, it only affects these people, or at least it doesn't affect my community, or something like that. I mean, in this, it's like everyone was affected there. It was really tough to watch, though.
It was.
So I also like that they didn't make everyone perfect. There was not a single perfect person there. Everyone had their flaws.
Everybody was real.
Everyone had their flaws. They acted in a way that I think I was like, oh, dude, like not cool, but I get it, I guess. Like some people think it's like my problems are bigger than theirs. And that was the thing too here. Everyone had problems, and everyone thought their problem was bigger than the next person. A lot of the people actually had merit in believing that, but then some people did not, and that their problem was not nearly as bad as others. But your problem, it's in perspective, right?
It's totally in perspective.
Just like pain. Like, what is the worst pain that you've ever felt is definitely not what another person did, but on equal terms, it was your worst pain. Right? So it's in perspective.
My 7 is your 7, but again, it's just the number you're giving it because, I can handle a higher 7, but it's the same 7.
So anyway, it was interesting, but what are you going to rate it?
I am going to rate this. Found overall the acting very good. I thought it was a bit slow up front. I get it because the end started happening really, really fast, and the stories all started to coalesce. But the up front could, I think, been just tightened up just a little bit more. And overall, the story was really good. I think the acting was really good in a lot of good places.
Sure.
Each of the characters I had a vested interest in, and was trying to figure them out, either for good or bad or whatever. So it kept me entertained. So I'm going to give this an 8. I could actually, and again, my one factor, watchability, rewatch. I could actually I would actually rewatch this because this is one that I think I would see a whole lot more the second time around.
Seeing how maybe even in minute details people are connected.
Details and so forth.
Sure,
I think it would be, and they were, some of them were, you brought up the sheer fact that she had shown him it was Krishna, right?
Yeah.
Krishna, that she was willing to give up that, and that suddenly brought that doctor back to his values, his humanness, and so forth. Little things like that happened along the way, I think I probably missed, because this was a visually dense, there was a lot of movement on the screen, there were lots of things going on, and so a lot of times too much was happening and I'm like going, I can't read subtitles and at the same time
I get it.
see
And
everything
so that's
going
a very
on.
interesting thing you say. So basically, with trying to read and watch, sure, you can miss some things for sure.
Yeah.
So watching it a second time makes sense.
I think so, yeah.
For me, I'm always just, when it's like religion, it's like such a touchy thing, like for a lot of people, and watching movies like this, right? Because it's like, you put yourself in these situations, and it seems almost created for movies. And I get that there's real tension and that real things like this happen. It's so unfortunate in the world. Like, it's really crappy things like that actually do happen. But at the same time, it's like, I'm watching this, and just like you, I mean, the one thing that stuck with me that I was like really upset with is that they almost forced the situation by being like, oh, I'm in the road, now I'm going through this crowd. And is that even respect? Like, in a way, it was disrespectful because they're all going like this, and it's like literally like the path of God, right?
Yeah.
Because it's God doing this, like they're walking him down and doing the.
I mean, it never became apparent to me how they just like.
Yeah, but the thing is as soon as he realized he's like in the path, because it's like driving on the path, and so the optics already didn't look good, and then also you have your pregnant wife on the back of your car. No matter what group it is, like you shouldn't do that. And so for me watching this, he's like, dude, you see how many people there's, just take a side street. Like, it's crazy.
And or just, pull to the side of the road, I mean, and wait
stop.
it out.
Wait it out, dude. Like, I don't know. But that seemed like a really crummy way to get into that sect of the story. But I get it. You need to make him have his background so that he sees, in a way, he could have definitely been one of the ones they recruited. But because he wasn't like that wasn't his mindset. And so from the very beginning, that it showed you that even when someone can resist despite what their background is, right?
Yeah.
But still, I didn't like that whole thing. I didn't like that. And then also the cop, I felt was a little over the top. Acting wise, people did great. And it wasn't that the actor was playing his role over the top. I just think that the role he was playing, he did great at, but it was like an over the top.
It was a full characterization
attitude.
of this is how it is. This is how
and
ugly
it is
looks.
like pushing that So I really hope things like that aren't as much as they used to be. I hope that is going in the right direction. I honestly, when I'm, with my family in India, I don't see as much of it. Sure, like even 10 years, back when I was living there more than 10 years ago, like almost 20 years ago when I was living in India, I mean, I saw it a lot, like a lot. So in the last 20 years, I'm hoping that
it's kind of changed a bit.
Hopefully, I mean, I don't hear it as often, but I'm sure there are still stories, especially like the grandfather and his grandson in the village. I mean, I'm sure that stuff happens a ton, especially in like the smaller villages.
The smaller villages, yeah.
So I'm going to rate it a 7, but not because of the reasons that some of the things I said, but also I mean, the songs were okay, but for me, they weren't just, they weren't that catchy. You know, we've watched some movies where the songs are just like that.
Yeah.
So when I'm giving it, like, I'm thinking about all that. Like, acting was great, very stellar. The story was actually really good. I like that genre when everyone's story kind of comes together. So I like those two things. But then for me, like the whole religion, that part with him going through the crowd, I didn't like that. I didn't like a lot of things about
Very
that.
contrived.
And the music wasn't hitting it for me. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I was entertained. I'm not I'm definitely not disappointed that we watched it because it was a very good movie and had a great message. But yeah, so 7, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know in the comments, what did you think? What, you know, how did you connect to it? And what are some of the things that maybe we missed? Because just like you, I have to read the subtitles on these. So, you know, there's definitely things that we can miss.
This one was a hard one, I gotta say. It was hard.
So thank you so much for joining us. And another shout out to our Patreon executive producer, Teja. Thank you so much for requesting this. And if anyone else wants to become an executive producer to request a movie for us to watch, you can do that by clicking this button right there, where it'll bring you over to our Patreon page, and you can find a whole bunch of other things like early access watch-alongs, members polls, and our live streams.
Yeah.
And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, like button slap chayandi.